So you all out there, when you see the goals, you can send them to ssflgoalcam@gmail.com. We want to see those goals that you capture with your phones, with your home cameras, with whatever device. Send it to us. And also, to keep up to date with all of the action, you all can just download the SportsMax app. You can check out games that have passed before and all of the action in ISSA schoolboy football as well as the secondary schools football league. When we come back around here at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex, it is the Coca-Cola Intercol North Zone Girls Final. St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain up against Diego Martin Central Secondary in the Valley of Diego Martin. When we get back.
You're watching coverage of Secondary Schools Football League, brought to you by Carib Malta, 0.0% alcohol. It's the way we play. And First Citizen Foundation, building strong communities through sport.
You gave us the inspiration to be first. We gave you the solutions that put you first. You trusted us with your vision. We paved the way with innovation. You walked with us side by side, and we continued to serve you with pride. First Citizens is proud of everything we've achieved together. We made dreams a reality, shaped success stories, and painted brighter futures. And together, we'll accomplish so much more. First Citizens, we put you first.
The world #2 Indians on tour, facing the top-ranked test nation, the Aussies, from Thursday, the 21st of November, live from Perth, Australia. India, the first test of 5. On SportsMax, SportsMax Cricket and the app, nightly at 10:20 in the Eastern Caribbean, 9:20 in Jamaica. Your sports destination, get the SportsMax app now.
This broadcast is brought to you by Carib Malta, 0.0% alcohol. It's the way we play. And First Citizen Foundation, building strong communities through sport.
Welcome back to the Diego Martin Regional Sporting Complex for today's exciting encounter between two teams in the North Zone Intercol Girls Finals. St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain versus Diego Martin Central Secondary, in a clash that would see two teams that are quite familiar with each other face each other during the league format. And the girls there in your picture from St. Joseph Convent would have come away victorious in that. In fact, St. Joseph Convent went on to represent the North Zone in the league format fixture, and that have brought them to the semi-finals. The eventual winners there were Pleasantville. Well, the finals are still to play, and Pleasantville are in the finals. Diego Martin Central, right down the road, of course, the alma mater of Hans Devines, and he would be an anticipated, exciting onlooker here, as there is an opportunity for his alma mater to possibly hoist this trophy. Intercol finals are where dreams are made of, and this facility certainly has a history of making dreams turn into reality. The beautiful Diego Martin Sporting Complex, of course, home to the Merry Boys Cricket Club, a very famous team that has plied their trade in the National Cricket League. As some of the young students from Diego Martin Central, just right down the street, walking distance, arguably, and they will certainly be consider this stadium here their home facility, as both teams now gearing up to walk onto the pitch. Led, of course, by the officiating team. I'm Brent Sancho, and I'm joined by Leo Chin a man that's been able to bring a silver lining to what I would say dark clouds that surrounded the Arima Velodrome yesterday. Leo Chin, good afternoon.
Well, there's always something to smile about, Brent. Even in the face of adversity, you have to find peace some way. And that's what I've been doing. But of course, well excited to see how this final plays out. We've been treated all week long with games both from the boys and girls, which have really been exciting. So I think today is going to be no different.
Certainly so, as both sets of players. First time here on our SportsMax cameras. Of course, we would have had the highlights in the past of these teams, but they're live and being viewed and aired and all across on the various platforms. And of course, the officials here today: Nikita Harewood, Kamaya James, Avian Mark, and Dean Ransom, the fourth official. As the teams are lining up and ready for the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago.
For the singing of the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago.
As both teams prepare themselves and introduce themselves to each other. Of course, there is a tinge of familiarity here, Leo, in terms of these teams playing at the league format. But first, let's take a look at the lineup. St. Joseph Convent with Dolan, Liban, Rigard, Yearwood, Richards, Gittins, Cooper, Darwent, Philip, Govaya, Wilson, and their coach by Junior Maxwell.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-3-3 formation for St. Joseph Convent. Of course, they do have a very good attack, scoring 5 goals coming into this one in the semi-finals. So all eyes on Darwin, Philip and Cooper going forward for St. Joseph Convent.
And their opponents, Diego Martin Central Secondary, Crawford, Morris, Baptiste Roberts, Richards, Williams, Taylor, Williams, Lewis, Laborde, Pollard, Clint, and their coach by Theophilus Boyce.
Coach Boyce setting up as well with a 4-3-3 formation, a bit of a flat midfield as opposed to the midfield of St. Joseph Convent. Of course, Diego Martin Central scored goals as well, but also didn't concede. So an all-around performance from them in the semi-finals, and we'll be looking to see that from them today as well coming into the finals.
And both teams get set to kick off this afternoon's Girls Intercal Finals, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Leo Chin, it will be remissive of me not to ask you your predictions, my friend.
Well, I guess that Sai said it all. I tend not to like to predict, but I do think based on how things go, you might have to give the edge to St. Joseph's Convent. I think they come in the stronger team into this one. But as we say, football plays on the day, and Diego Martin Sec, should not be overlooked at all.
Certainly so, my friend. It's a game where both teams do boast of national team players within their ranks. Of course, St. Joseph Convent has 8 of them currently in this starting lineup. And the girls from Diego Martin Secondary, they have 2. One of them is on a bench currently. The other is starting. As we get ready for kickoff here at the Coca-Cola Intercal Girls Final. And off we go. Early stream upfield. Ball played long downfield. Probing here. Looks like Baptiste Roberts trying to get to the end of it. All cleared upfield. St. Joseph Convent in the white top, blue shorts, blue socks. And Diego Martin Central in the all green outfit. St. Joseph Convent getting some yardage up that left-hand side and comfortably collected there by goalkeeper Crawford. Long switch of play, and Diego Martin under pursuit, Central under pursuit. Ball safely back into goalkeeper Dolan's hand. Both teams are similarly set up, but tactically different. As we already see almost a wall of green shirts behind the football. As we would have expected Leo Chin, Diego Martin Central would want to neutralize the attacking prowess that comes with St. Joseph Convent. And when you look at the numbers behind the football when they are not in possession, it already tells you that they certainly have that in mind.
Yeah, and they're going to have to, because as you mentioned, the attacking threat of St. Joseph's Convent, they score goals for fun, and you could see already they look fluid, trying to use those wingers who seem to be direct already. So it is something they're going to have to pay attention to, and I'm sure coach would have drilled that into their minds, because you can't make defensive mistakes, especially in finals like this, Brent.
Certainly so. We already see for Diego Martin Central their lone national team starter and Mariah Williams, almost playing like a roving six. She's right in front of the back five of Diego Martin Central, protecting those areas in and around. So there's already been a level of identification from Diego Martin Central that they would need that added amount of protection. And certainly it will have some sort of implications as to the way they play. Certainly defensively, we all know that they have to be resolute in their approach and minimize the mistakes, as you've rightly said. And there she is on the ball now. Mariah Williams, number 11 for Diego Martin Central, captain and currently involved in the national team setup. A lot of it is expected of her. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I think a perfect example of a well-executed defensive plan in a final from a team. San Juan North yesterday against Five Rivers Secondary. I mean, some of the defending that we saw was world class, I might have to say. And then it paid off in the end. They carried it all the way to penalties. And of course, you know, in penalties, it's anybody's game. So if Diego Martin can do that today, to even coming in as underdogs, they could see themselves leaving with some silverware as well.
Yeah, that's well noted. Of course, today's game will be played in 40 minutes halves and not the regular 45 minutes. Of course, the time added on is to the discretion of the referee at the end of each half, but the regulation times is 40 minutes, and the game goes to penalty kicks at the end if the scores are even. San Juan North, a recipient of the kicks from the penalty spot, victorious, beating Five Rivers Secondary, who remarkably beat that San Juan North team in league game 7-1. So talk about a miraculous turnaround. And as Leo Chin would have just mentioned, they defended extremely well yesterday. And the heroics of goalkeeper Cox at the end put that punctuation mark for San Juan North to see them go through to the next round at the national level. St. Joseph Convent has struggled to get the ball out the half so far, but here's one that's played over the top. Hesitation by the goalkeeper. Gets there first eventually, but danger is not cleared yet. Ball is recouped there by Jada Wilson. She gets it. No, now it's turned over. Still trying to get in control. Spills out wide here to Cooper. Good bit of combination play, and Cooper has been set on the way. And well defended there by the captain, Mariah Williams, who clears it long downfield, and the ball has gone out to touch for throwing for St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain.
Yeah, just some more glimpses of St. Joseph's Convent going forward there. We're seeing it, they're growing into it more and more. I think both teams still settling down just a bit, haven't seen anything of real quality as yet. But of course, we do know the quality that both teams possess. Saw some signs of Wilson there with that little slip pass through as well. So you do expect to see more and more chances being created, especially by St. Joseph's Convent. It's in their nature.
We've already seen the importance of Diego Martin Central captain Mariah Williams coming back to make that interception defensively. A player that certainly can play further up the park. And I think the question is, Leo Chin, if a player of that capability that is easily one of the standout players, you play higher up the park, or you try to make sure you play her in such a position that she impacts the team defensively. And I guess that is really a question that coaches that have those sorts of scenarios have to answer. Cooper, well intercepted there. Comes to Williams. Turns into traffic. Ball is played out wide to no one in particular. Played infield. Again, ball played up long behind the defense of Diego Martin Central. Will be chased on by Williams. Plays it out wide to Laborde. Into the captain. Long searching ball. It's got two players in a green shirt over on the far side joining in, trying to keep up the offensive pressure, and the ball goes out of touch for Diego Martin Central throw in.
It's a good question you asked though, Brent, regarding using your quote-unquote star player in various positions, because a good example of it, of course, Coach Boyce of Diego Martin Central, he'll be knowledgeable about this as well. Knowing how to use those players is important, because we saw examples of it in the game on Monday in the central zone, where the likes of Pacheco for Holy Faith Convent, by far their best player, but yet she wasn't really able to impact the game. Yes, she got her goal in the end, but not really the kind of goal she would have wanted to score. But it is something that you do have to consider, and something that you have to do very strategically, because you don't want to what's the word, subdue the effect of those players.
Certainly so, as we see foul there on Philip of St. Joseph Convent, which brings about a dead ball situation with four players to aim for in the penalty area, and green shirts a mark. Ball played into the box. It's just a kill test chance here by Wilson. Really snapshot. Disappointment. But the first real chance of the game so far.
Yep, and it's Wilson. We saw her earlier stringing passes in the midfield. This time she gets a shot on goal, well off target. Coach, I think he'll be pretty happy with what he's seen so far. I think he'll know that his team still has levels to go in this game, but have started off the better team, at least in my opinion.
It has been competitive so far. Diego Martin Central have certainly shown the endeavor that you would expect in a game of this magnitude, and understanding the opponent that they're coming up against. Ball out on the left-hand side. St. Joseph Convent trying to string together passes to kickstart their offensive push in this game, and Diego Martin Central have found a way to clear their lines. No goals yet, just under 10 minutes in this fixture, and Diego Martin Central have come into this one as certain underdogs, but they've found a way to make sure that there is a level of parity still in it. I think the question is for any Diego Martin Central fan is how long can they keep up this start? Long searching free kick, intercepted. There's one player ahead of the ball for St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain. As Gittin tries a long ball up top. It's a foot race here. It look like there's a winner to it, and it may be Cooper. As she drives into the box, she's looking to have a shot here. And easily into the hands of goalkeeper Crawford.
Yep, well, they are growing into it, Brent. As we see there, nice ball cross field. I think Cooper just didn't get the contact she wanted in the end. Easily gobbled up by Crawford in post.
First chance that St. Joseph Convent has been able to get over the back four of Diego Martin Central.
Yeah, lovely ball cross field into space, a lot of space. Look how long the ball was able to roll there. Cooper, well, I thought she could have done so much better. Diego Martin defenders getting back just to put a bit of pressure, but definitely didn't connect in the way that she would have wanted.
Oh, here they come again, and of course into the hands of Crawford. Long putt downfield, and Phillips just straight into an offside position, getting back a little bit slower than the rest of her team would have wanted. So Captain Mariah Williams about to take this free kick. Downfield only as far as Gittins. Gets over to Wilson. Tries to go a little bit longer. And that is intercepted there by the board. Trying to find up that Diego Martin Central, trying to apply a bit of pressure. Eventually ball trickles all the way back to goalkeeper Dolan. Long searching ball there. In pursuit is Darwin. Finally gets control of it. Looks for two players over on the side for a long switch. Not able to do that. Wilson gets in control, allows it. Cooper is on it. And Cooper has been caught in the offside position. Not sure if Phillip was onside, but Cooper certainly was. And because she made an effort to play the ball, the referee assistant did the right thing and raised the flag.
Yep, and she's in a lot of space over on this near side, Brent, is Cooper, and she would have been eager to run onto that one as the ball was played across, but she really should be a bit more careful. She's looking directly across the line, so should have been able to hold her run.
Well, it was a lot of speculation coming to this, whether or not Coach Boyce would play a lower line and maybe a low block, but so far we've seen his team play quite a high line and have been trying to pressure the St. Joseph Convent and engage them higher up the park. So any talk of that being that situation, not so. Williams again there with the good work. This time that's been impeded there, and Darwin on the football. Trying to wiggle free of Williams, who seems to be everywhere for Diego Martin Central.
Yeah, she's had a really good start, and as you mentioned, if they are to have success today, she's going to have to be on top of her game. So far, she's done well.
Well, it's a team sport of 11 players. I'm not sure she'll be everywhere. There's a shot on goal. Just wide. Look like Phillips. Bethany Phillips with the attempt. And the first real gilt-edged chance in this encounter.
Yeah, nice ball swung in. Phillip, I think she's given a little bit too much of time there. She was able to settle it and get the strike away, but didn't hit it how she would have wanted. And yep, flew wide, and she was frustrated with herself. Seems as if she usually scores those in training.
Well, the first touch was, I believe, good enough to allow her to have a clean strike and goal. It's the strike and goal I think she may be disappointed with. Just not clean enough. Looked a bit harried with the shot. But St. Joseph Convent is starting to turn the screws now. Long shot there again by Phillip. Maybe not the best idea, as there were two players in Cooper and Wilson awaiting a possible ball into the box. She decided to go it alone, like most strikers do. And her shot went wide. It's a good moment now for St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain, as they started to slowly turn the screws on this one. Gittins, again, a long shot on goal. Doesn't look like it provided much trouble for Crawford, who eventually snatches it. And puts his long downfield to Diego Martin Central, who are having some problems trying to get the ball out of their own half. And as St. Joseph Convent continue to put the pressure on. Long ball upfield, not controlled correctly, and Philip tries to get by. Philip again on the chase. The goalkeeper has not come out yet. Finally she does and collects it. Goalkeeper Crawford there with the save.
Well, I think Bethany Phillip is on a mission today. I think she thought she was fouled, but didn't hear a whistle, immediately got back and was onto that one in a flash.
Yeah, with the clearance. Only as far as Taylor. As the ball eventually goes out for a throw for St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain. Coming up to 16 minutes plus, still 0-0 here in this Coca-Cola Girls Intercol Finals North Zone. Of course, we've had some winners in the girls division. Central Zone winners are none other than American Ministries Pentecostal. They came out victorious in their encounter. And a surprise result as the offside there is called on Phillip. Seems like the right call from where we are sitting here. And San Juan North with the upset so far of the round as we have another look at this one. Ooh, it's very tight. I probably have to start drawing up the lines.
Yeah.
As the ball eventually played over the top. And San Juan North in the East Zone yesterday, victorious over Five Rivers Secondary. So as the national quarterfinal and semi-finalists are being decided, certainly St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain, the favorites to come out of the North Zone. League winners of the North Zone. Five Rivers Secondary was the league winners of the East Zone, and they were surprised by San Juan North Secondary yesterday. So it's not that upsets cannot happen, because they have. But it's, as you said, Leo Chin, it's how you perform on the day.
Yep, and I'll tell you a fun fact as well, Brent. It's the first time for the week that we've broadcasted, and the same school can't win the boys and girls title.
Ball played inside for Phillips. She's onside this time. Can she get there before goalkeeper puts it on goal? The effort is just wide. Bethany Phillip again knocking on the door and just can't get in.
As I said, she does look very hungry. You could see the determination on her face. And again, got there in the end, but again, it's the finish that's lacking. It's about the third one we've seen from St. Joseph Convent. A very unconvincing finish. I think the oncoming keeper might have thrown her off just a bit, but nevertheless, I don't think it was on target. No, it wasn't. And you have another chance for St. Joseph Convent.
Could have maybe taken another touch and get around the goalkeeper. Possible option there for Phillip, but she looked very much aghast when she reached the football. So I don't know if the legs ran out, and normally when there's a bit of exhaustion, it starts to impact the thinking process. But here comes the captain. Williams again going upfield, trying to do it all alone. Takes the throw in as well. And that's intercepted there by LeBen, who's been put under a little bit of pressure there. As the ball eventually trickles out of throw, Taylor with the last touch on it, which makes it a goal kick for St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain.
Yep. And again, Williams running out from the back, which actually brings me back to the question that you asked earlier as they take a cooling break here of where to play Williams in order to affect the game, because she did well there to bring it out from the back, but the question is how far can she really go? There's a lot of pressure on her in playing in that deeper position to affect the attack.
Well, certainly so. And water break brought to you by SportsMax. Of course, this game have a cooling break that's been placed in for all obvious reasons, and gives me the opportunity to say a special hello to all that is streaming online. Yesterday they were very vociferous in their debate regarding, of course, Darrell Garcia and Lindell Sween. I won't start that discussion again because it went on and on, so we'll save it for a bit later on in the broadcast. As both teams go to the water break, Leo Chin, it's a perfect time to ask which coach would be the happier of the two?
Well, actually, I might give the coach of Dago Sec. I think he'll be pretty happy coming into this one. You know, haven't conceded as yet, haven't scored either, but they're still in it. Definitely, I think on the side of St. Joseph Convent, they would have probably expected to score by now. They've had some decent chances as well, which some of them they might have put away on a better day. So yeah, I think the Dago camp might be a bit more pleased as it stands.
Well, it's a good time as well to engage our live stream persons that are looking on. And I think that the question is, Leo Chin, is it better to put, quote-unquote, your best player in a defensive position to stop goals or in an offensive position to score goals?
Well, they say, well, not they say, it's facts. If you don't concede goals, you can't lose a match. But then if you don't score, you can't win.
There you go.
So, what do you do?
Well, there we see some of the young men from Fatima College. Of course, they come up after in their all-important North Zone Intercol Coca-Cola finals against Queens Royal College. And a battle of two teams that are very familiar to each other. Of course, Queens Royal College in last year's edition of the North Zone Intercol in the semi-final round had the upset of the Intercol with a win against Fatima College. So they would be hoping to emulate that heroics of last season.
Yeah.
And of course, both semi-finals were tightly contested. And Fatima College with a 4-3 win over Malik Secondary, who certainly had their say in that fixture. And then Queens Royal College left it late in their victory against St. Anthony's College. Again, another game that we saw last season. So certainly a game to look forward to afterwards. If you have just joined us, Diego Martin Central in the all green. And St. Joseph Convent Port of Spain in white tops, blue shorts and blue socks.
Yep, and Wilson, I think she's had a decent start to the game. Couple misplaced passes here and there, but she's definitely been involved in that midfield position.
Well, they've certainly started to turn the screws, and this young lady in particular, Phillips, I've seen a fair look in on goal. She hasn't been able to make any inroads just yet, but Phillips have had a couple opportunities. So goal kick by Williams, the captain of Diego Martin, one of several national team players on show here today for St. Joseph Convent. They have Donald Alexia, Leben Mateja, Michaela Yearwood, Cole Scarlett, Rory Gittins, Caitlin Darwent, Jada Wilson, and Dinelia Salandi, who are the national team players for St. Joseph Convent Port of Spain. And for Diego Martin secondary, there are two players, one that's currently, and also a third that's on the bench. Two that's currently starting. Of course, we name Mariah Williams as one of them. And also, one of the players that are not starting currently is Ariel. Well, Ariel Pollard is starting out on the wing. So national players on view here for both teams. Interesting to see how they will impact this fixture. Of course, yesterday we had a few young national players on show.
Yeah, and it shows as well. You see the level of the players who are in that national setup have a bit of an edge over some of the others. Not to say that the others lack quality, but just that bit of experience tends to give them an edge in some of these school level games.
Good interplay there. Cooper with some space. She has Phillips in the middle. Tries to get past a defender in Richards, who does a good job and clears it upfield, but only as far as Govaya. Huge switch of play there, tough touch. And continues on in possession, and LeBen has options forward. And looks at Darwin, who's not able to get there. Williams is all the way back, cleaning up. And punches it forward. Again, we see Williams with hard defensive rules taking precedence. Of course, we've already been engaged by persons online, and they're saying, show up the defense first, as it relates to that debate on where you should pay your better player as it relates. But here comes St. Joseph Convent. So a bit of this hesitation there by the goalkeeper Crawford, but not needed, as Richards would have cleaned up, and she's been restricted there by Phillip. Eventually the ball comes off of Richards and into throw for throw-in for St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain.
Yeah, definitely something that they're looking to do is play that ball over the top into Bethany Phillip. She has some pace, and it does cause problems whenever they do it. Now they've won themselves a corner. See if they'll be able to capitalize on this set piece opportunity. Now she's somebody, Jada Wilson, in that midfield. She has a lot of height. She might be a target for Darwin here.
Short corner. Hesitation there. Can she get a strike on target? Doesn't. So good play there by Yearwood. Probably has needed a little bit more composure once the room was afforded to take the shot.
Yeah, it went short. I thought they might have tried to swing it in. And yeah, good skill from her in the end. Decent strike, as you said. Not some bad play there from St. Joseph's Convent, just wide, but the effort and the intent is definitely there, and the chances are coming.
Here comes Diego Martin Central Secondary. Laborde trying to find some inroads there. She has 6 green shirts to aim for. Eventually it spills out wide to Taylor. That's intercepted by Darwin doing her defensive duties. Streams up front, 2 white shirts up front. A good run that brings the approval of the crowd. Tries to find infield here. It's Gittins! Saved! Back out to Cooper. Into Gittins. Heavy touch originally, and Mariah Williams comes back and does what she does best. And that is to ensure that Diego Martin Central is not breached.
Well, how about that from Darwin out on the left-hand side? Let's take another look. She just gets past everybody. There's 1, there's 2, and then she's into the space and she plays it nice and early. That's a smart thing to do. Unfortunately for Gittins, I think she should have been a bit more composed there. Might have taken it around the keeper there, and she would have had an open goal. Took it one time, and it ended up being a good save from Crawford. Credit to her.
Yeah, give Crawford credit. She was quick off her line and made sure that the angle was closed down quite quickly. And Gittins, and I think, as you rightfully said, Leo, Gittins would be a bit disappointed because there's a touch more composure. Might have given her the opportunity, as coach Junior Maxwell there of St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain, still bellowing out instructions. His team's knocking on the door, not been able to pry it open just yet. Again, a high line from Diego Martin Central. Darwin again, numbers in the middle, ball faces across the goal. Gittins just able to get there The ball goes out for a goal kick for Diego Martin Central Secondary.
Yeah, Darwin has been really good in this first half. She's had her glimpses as well. I think the issue with St. Joseph Convent has been the lack of composure in their finishing. They've had some, as we said, clear-cut chances, but they've lacked power, they've lacked accuracy, and, well, most importantly, the composure as well. But here's something that coach will be telling them at the half.
Gittins there. With the clearance and Paulin. Richardson part punted long downfield. Eventually collected there by Alexia Dolan in goal for St. Joseph Convent. Took a while for Dolan to come off her line. Eventually she got it right. And long downfield got Cooper in pursuit. Cooper again charges down this right-hand side. It's, two players at her extreme left. Instead, she gives it to Gittin, who turns inside, plays inside. Nice ball into Cooper. Is maintained outside. Gittin asks in return. Intercepted there by Williams, who turns well. Excellent bit of play there by Williams to free herself. And then nice ball into the middle of the park for Morris. Morris not able to get it forward. Instead, Darwin is in pursuit, and she gets there first and does well. Has two players in the box. Surges one across. One of them is Phillip, who, not the best of touches, comes to Gittins. The ball eventually cleared by Diego Martin Central. Cooper again on the attack. Ball intercepted and eventually cleared there for a throw-in for St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain. Catch all the SSFL action on the SportsMax app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play and stay connected to every thrilling moment of the league, the Coca-Cola Intercal, and all that is good football and sports on the app. Certainly have seen some good sporting action throughout. Of course, the Nations League is fresh on the minds of those of us in this region here. Some massive results. The US of A clobbering Jamaica over in their fixture by 4-2. I made the comment, Leo Chin, that's the best I've seen the US play in quite a long time. Of course, under Coach Pochettino, this could be dangerous. Just over the bar there by Gittins. I was looking at Crawford's reaction there to that one. But yeah, certainly good Nations League action and show for us this week. And of course, good intercal action this week for us. All the zonal finals being played in the girls and boys division. Any game in particular have impressed you in the girls division, Liu Chen?
Yeah, I think yesterday was the pick of the bunch so far. Five Rivers versus Sanwa North. As I said, the defensive display from the girls from Sanwa North was really impressive. I think that's what stood out to me. And then the penalty shootout, some of the saves we saw, you know, out of this world. So I think that has been the pick of the bunch so far.
Yeah, just for a moment there, I thought that Philip had gone in behind and adjudged to be in an offside position. I
think she's had a pretty frustrating half, Brent. Bethany Phillip, she feels she might have had some goals herself. She's been caught offside a few times, but she's worked really hard. She does score. You'll have to say she probably deserves it.
Well, she certainly found herself in good positions and just haven't been able to make it work. Again, she's just about onside. And she's found Darwin, 3 to aim for in the box. So Darwin looks up, puts it across, and just couldn't get past the outstretched hands of Crawford, who fumbles the ball inexplicitly, and it's eventually cleared by Diego Martin Central. Now, here comes Cooper to Gittins. Gittins tries to put it in. There's a defender there. Tough first touch, eventually clears it up, and Gittins there again. As tries to curl that ball to the back post and didn't have the curl on it. And it goes out for a goal kick.
That was really strange there, Brent. Just when he thought the play was dead, somehow it gets back in there, but looks like Phillip has damaged herself in the melee.
Yeah, I'm not sure what transpired, but certainly coming together. that would have seen Philip, as Coach Boyce is busy on the touchline as the instructions come to the players, and you'd have to say that they have acquitted themselves very well thus far. Diego Martin Central, and very sure Hansi Wiens is a happy man somewhere around here.
He'd have to be. But just to go back to that passage of play there, Brent, we spoke about not making mistakes in these sorts of finals. That one there, that could have very easily led to a goal, and it would have really ruined a decent defensive display in the first half from Diego Martin Sec so far. So they have to be careful to not lose their concentration, especially as the game progresses and fatigue kicks in. They have to be able to stay focused and stick to the task.
Certainly so. As this game again is played in 40-minute halves, so we have just about under 4 minutes left in regulation time. Of course, time added on will be tacked on to that. And the games are not played in 45-minute halves, it's 40 minutes. And if the scores are tied at the end of it, we go to kicks from the penalty spot. So as we get to the closing action here of the first half, St. Joseph Convent certainly had the better opportunities, but have not been able to break the deadlock. As a Diego Martin Central in particular, and their captain, Mariah Williams, who's on the ball now, have done a superb job in repelling this St. Joseph Convent attack, but here they come again. So, errant pass played out wide, will go for a throw-in, in which Govaya will gladfully take. She has Darwin, who switched over to this right-hand side now. Good through ball there to get it. Can she get there first? Crawford is out and does the simplest of tasks of collecting the football.
Yep, good goalkeeping. I think it was a nice ball through from Darwin, and she saw the danger early, came off her line and claimed it. But yeah, as you said, Darwin's moving over to this right-hand side now, trying to affect the game from all areas. She's been, I think, their best player in this first half.
Throw in on the right-hand side for Diego Martin Central. As one of our young fans there, presumably checking out our SportsMax app.
Just downloaded it.
Just downloaded it, correct. Diego Martin Central on the attack has been thwarted. Now some space here for Darwin to run into. She's seemed to have the beaten of. Gets past her marker. 2 to aim for in the box. Puts a nice ball in. Phillips just couldn't get to the end of that. Bethany Phillip stretching to get to the end of that Darwin cross. Just couldn't get there. Good ball again there by Darwin to have switched over to this right-hand side. Continues to provide a genuine outlet for this St. Joseph Convent team.
Yeah, there it is. She just gets into this space. Lovely ball. I think Phillip, maybe just didn't time her run well enough, else she would have had perfect contact. But another chance there for St. Joseph Convent. You really think they might have scored one of them? Bethany Phillip, she'll definitely think she should have at least one goal.
Well, 2 minutes has been added to the 40 minutes as St. Joseph Convent continue their pressure and their dominance so far in this half. Long ball hefted into it. And ball again cleared upfield for St. Joseph Convent throwing. As we just closing in on regulation. And St. Joseph Convent has continued the pressure that they've applied thus far in this game. Still yet to find that opening goal. Crawford again with the kick downfield. Just manages to get it onto the foot of Diego Martin Central player. Not the best of pass. Long ball downfield. The interest Gittins, but she's not going to get there because Crawford is going to simply get it. But she takes a heavy touch out of the box. I'm not sure where Crawford is going as she's going in a long foray upfield. Certainly have brought a tinge of excitement to this fixture. And she can laugh about it now, but I'm very sure Coach Boyce probably doesn't feel the same as the spectators enjoyed that bit of Rene Higuita, former Colombian goalkeeper who is known for his forays out of the box. I'm not sure if Rene Higuita got that far up the park. And of course, closer to us here in CONCACAF, Jorge Campos, a Mexican goalkeeper also known for that. So we may have to throw in Kyla Crawford as a goalkeeper that sautés out of the box. I'm sure Boyce is going to have something to say about that at halftime. Not sure if that's what you want from a goalkeeper. Certainly been the high point of the half so far. So, corner kick by Bethany Phillip. 4 to aim for in the box. Long ball, good ball into the box. Gittins get in there. Again, Williams with the clearance. Exceptional job there by the captain, Mariah Williams. She's certainly been the difference maker for Diego Martin Central as it relates to their defensive efforts so far. She has masterfully kept St. Joseph Convent at bay. And there you have it. Halftime whistle. As we come to the end of proceedings at the first half. Remarkably, the game stays at 0-0 as Anika Harewood, the referee, brings this one to end of the first half. Both teams would have had the opportunities in Joseph Convent, Port of Spain, the better of those opportunities. And certainly they would feel that they should have been ahead thus far. As it is here at the Diego Martin Regional Sporting Complex, it's St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain 0. Diego Martin Central Secondary 0. In this girls Coca-Cola Intercol Finals. And so far, it has been a game that has seen the majority of the opportunities fall into the girls from St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain. A game that certainly has had its fair share of chances for the girls in the white and blue of St. Joseph Convent. Certainly a lot more to come in the second half, and both teams will have their opportunities to make their changes. But before we get to that, Leo Chin got the captains of both teams.
Yes, thank you, Brent. I'm here with Captain Mariah Williams of Diego Sec and Caitlin Dawent of St. Joseph Convent. Girls, what did you make of the first half?
I find it was very intense, but second half is more football to play, and best out of the two teams win.
Yeah. Caitlin?
It was a good half for both teams. I think everybody on the field fighting really hard, and it's good to see.
Yeah, and what will be your message to your teammates at the half?
To fight through the end, and hopefully we come up with a win.
Yeah. We had to come a little better in the second half, including myself, and just bring it up to what we were able to bring it to.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, girls, and all the best in the second half. There you have it. It's 0-0 at the half between St. Joseph Convent and Diego Martin Secondary in this final of the North Zone Inter. Girls, we'll be back with the time analysis.
SSFL
You're watching coverage of Second High Schools Football League, brought to you by Carib Malta, 0.0% alcohol. It's the way we play. And First Citizen Foundation, building strong communities through sport.
You gave us the inspiration to be first. We gave you the solutions that put you first. You trusted us with your vision. We paved the way with innovation. You walked with us side by side, and we continued to serve you with pride. First Citizens is proud of everything we've achieved together. We made dreams a reality, shaped success stories, and painted brighter futures. And together, we'll accomplish so much more. First Citizens, we put you first.
Totally Male has been around since 1994. Our primary focus is the aesthetic upgrading of all males. Our highly skilled team of women are trained, professional, and committed to first-class customer service. Centrally located at 6 Windsor Avenue, New Kingston, Jamaica. Totally Male is your man cave, where we offer cable, private rooms, and a beverage of your choice while you're being pampered. Totally Male, a woman's touch for the exceptional man.
You gave us the inspiration to be first. We gave you the solutions that put you first. You trusted us with your vision. We paved the way with innovation. You walked with us side by side, and we continued to serve you with pride. First Citizens is proud of everything we've achieved together. We made dreams a reality, shaped success stories, and painted brighter futures. And together, we'll accomplish so much more. First Citizens, we put you first.
You're watching coverage of Second High Schools Football League, brought to you by Carib Malta, 0.0% alcohol. It's the way we play. And First Citizen Foundation, building strong communities through sport.
Welcome to SSFL Premiership Division.
Welcome back to the Diego Martin Regional Sporting Complex in the hills of beautiful Diego Martin, Trinidad and Tobago, for this afternoon's North Zone Coca-Cola Intercol finals between St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain, and Diego Martin Central Secondary. Out here in this beautiful facility that is normally used by cricketers, but today has been afforded the finals for the Coca-Cola North Zone Intercol. The play got on the way early, and St. Joseph Convent have been the protagonists for most of this 40 minutes. Gittins there with the opportunity. And ball over the top, goalkeeper Crawford hesitant to come off a line. Cooper eventually gets it. It's a shot that eventually warms the palm of Crawford. It has been all one-way traffic here in the Diego Martin Sporting Regional Complex. Phillip with the chance, one of many that she had in the half. Not able to crack the seal. Again found onside, just couldn't get to the ball before Crawford closing on the angle. The goalkeeper from Diego Martin Central making it difficult for Phillip and her team effort went behind for a goal kick. As St. Joseph Convent Port of Spain huffed and puffed, but just couldn't get the house down. Derwent, again, another one of the protagonists, fizzes one across the goal to no one in particular. Gittins showing her frustrations. Diego Martin Central tried to clear the area. Gittins collect the errant ball and couldn't get it on target as it goes wide of the post. Crawford just ensuring that it does not nestle in the net. And it's been the story of the half. Long balls played in, and I think Crawford wanted a bit of enjoyment. The highlight of the half so far, a long run there by goalkeeper Crawford, and taking a taxi back to the goal. That is your highlight so far in that first half. As the stat tail read like this: 11 shots on goal by St. Joseph Convent, 4 on target. No shots for Diego Martin Central. 4 fouls for St. Joseph Convent, 3 for Diego Martin. No cards in the game. 3-2 in the offside department. 3-0, sorry, in the offside department. 9 runs in the box for St. Joseph Convent, 2 for Diego Martin Central. A dominant half for St. Joseph Convent Port of Spain, but the most important scoreline is 0-0 at the half.
Definitely Brent Sancho, Liu Chin here with me on pitch. Guys, I want to say hi to the viewers on YouTube, those of you all commenting. Sarah H is saying, that's my keeper. And they said after that play, they want the keeper to play on top because they notice the keeper has some action in her. I'm going to read some more of the comments online. But guys, let's talk a little bit about the first half. St. Joseph Convent, of course, had the lion's share of the chances as well as the lion's share of the possession. So what does Diego Martin Secondary need to do to get back in the game?
I think they need to continue to do what they've been doing for this first half and don't change it. You know, we had a lot of conversation whether or not their better player, the captain Mariah Williams, should play high up the park or stay as a defensive clog, as she has done for most of the half. And I think I'd have to agree with her staying defensively, because if this goes into penalty kicks like we saw yesterday where the underdogs of San Juan North Secondary came out victorious, I'm sure Coach Boyce and the rest of the Diego Martin Central faithful will be happy, because in knockout football is all about advancing and winning football games. And if they feel they can get a result that way, then so be it.
Well, St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain, they have been going at it. But as you said, Brent, unable to crack the seal yet. What do they need to do and how do they go about it?
Well, they need to work on their shooting boots, because I think they've created some good chances, but they've really lacked the composure. That's what Brent and I were speaking about. You know, they just need to score the goals that they're getting the opportunities for. Derwent has been pretty good on both wings she's been on, and surprisingly, at the halftime interview, she says she wants to do even better. So I think the only way she could improve her performance is by scoring a goal. So I think they just need to work on their composure in front of goal.
Okay, guys, so if you were the coaches, what would you tell the players to do and to move into the second half?
I think from a Diego Martin Central secondary perspective is really ensuring that no silly mistakes or individual errors creep in. That's the only thing right now I think could unhinge them. Of course, as Liu Chin would have mentioned, if the scoring boots for St. Joseph Convent was here today, we might have seen a different scoreline. But you could only take control what you can take control of, and individual errors certainly is something they have to eliminate in this half to give themselves a chance.
All right. Well, Kwando Online said he wished he could have made it to the game, but he couldn't get a ride. Kwando, don't worry. You can get all the action on the SportsMax app. Download it today and stay up to date with everything happening in ISA schoolboy football as well as in the secondary schools football league. Halftime here at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. St. Joseph Convent 0, Diego Martin Central Secondary 0 inside the Coca-Cola Intercol North Zone Girls Final. When we come back, second half action.
You're watching coverage of Second High Schools Football League, brought to you by Carib Malta, 0.0% alcohol. It's the way we play. And First Citizen Foundation, building strong communities through sport. You're watching coverage of Second High Schools Football League, brought to you by Carib Malta, 0.0% alcohol. It's the way we play. And First Citizen Foundation, building strong communities through sport.
Welcome to SSFL Premiership Division.
Welcome back to the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. Of course, this is a multi-sporting facility designed for both cricket and football. Today, it is the home of the Girls Coca-Cola Intercol Finals, North Zone, between St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain, and Diego Martin Central Secondary. Both teams playing to a 0-all scoreline at the half. Again, this game is played in 40-minute halves. And if the score remains the same at the end, we will go to kicks from the penalty spots. There's an early substitution there for Diego Martin and as well St. Joseph Convent. We'll bring you up to speed to that, but here comes Darwin early already in the second half. She looked like she was upending, and certainly was so. Referee Williams have indicated a free kick.
It's just Darwin starting where she left off, really. Those balls in behind, and she just draws the foul in a dangerous position. Actually, looks to be in some pain as well, but she's up on her feet now. She's not sure. Yeah, she's in a lot of pain from that one.
Yes, it's a tough foul, and referee here would has not taken kindly to that.
She's a fighter, Brent. She will want to finish this game, most definitely.
Certainly so. But it does put St. Joseph Convent in a intriguing position here, and Philip has set her stall out by placing a ball. There is 5 white shirts to aim for in the box, and a 4-person wall for Diego Martin Central. All sets the backdrop to this set piece. Philip. Ball dinked into the area. There's Gittins! Into the back of the net. 1-0. Well, it looks like Gittins, they have had the final touch. Nevertheless, it's 1-0 to St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain.
Well, what a start to the second half. It's actually Bethany Phillip who whips that one in. Right on, yep, it is Gittins. That's a lovely goal from St. Joseph Convent, and it's ironic, Brent. We spoke about Bethany Phillips scoring in the first half. Well, she said I might as well turn provider, and she puts it on the plate for Gittins. And St. Joseph Convent lead 1-0, and a really good goal. Yep, have to question the goalkeeper there in that situation.
Well, there are shaves that the ball may have taken a deflection off the substitution. Salandi, we'll have to go to our persons on the desk to find out if that was indeed the last touch. Nevertheless, it is 1-0 to St. Joseph Convent, as we have confirmation of the substitution. Wilson off and Salandi on. But a peach of a ball by Phillip. Crawford rooted on her line. And of course, Gittins and Salandi there. And the final goal scorer so far looks like Gittins. 1-0 to St. Joseph Convent, but Diego Martin Central has a penalty. Sorry, a corner. Corner not taken to the best of the ability. May just have gotten an opportunity to take it again. Confirmation of that yellow card, Richards. With the yellow card for Diego Martin Central. Another corner here. It will change the taker. And now it's the captain, Mariah Williams. 6 to aim for. And many of that 6 have been marked by the opponent. Good ball into the box. Heads go up and it's in the back of the net. There goes the equalizer. And just like that, Diego Martin Central are back into this one. Looks like it may have been an own goal.
Well, it's the magic of the intercall. Brent, lovely ball swung in by none other than the captain, and it's unlucky. And I think it's actually Gittins who scored another header. But at the other end as well, she didn't know too much about it, did she? And it went the wrong way. And Tego Sek all of a sudden have found themselves immediate response from the girls in green. 1-1, and we have a game on our hands.
But here comes Darwin as this second half has come to life. Tries to get wrong Richards, who's done well to get there first, but haven't cleared their lines yet. Gittins trying to get into that one. Long play upfield, and Diego Martin Central now on the attack. As all of a sudden this game has come to life.
Well, Brent, that has to be some sort of history to score 2 headers, both for and against your team in such a short space of time. Gittins, that was really something incredible. I've never seen that before, but Tego Sek, they're not going to care how it comes. They'll just know that they are right back in this one.
Yeah, certainly so. 1-1, the score line thus far in a game that had a couple chances, and it certainly didn't provide it. Gittins in pursuit now. Actually, that's Salandi in pursuit. Couldn't get to that one. Crawford with a safe pair of hands, and Diego Martin tries to come out to the back with Williams. Long putt downfield. Tried to get it. And the play has been stopped as Cooper has been hit in the face with the ball, but she seems all right and ready to go again.
Brent, you know, again, just to bring it back, we spoke about the impact of Mariah Williams and playing your players where they should be. She actually took that corner kick off of her teammate, taking responsibility of it, and to be fair to her, it was a very dangerous delivery, though her player didn't get on the end of it, caused some problems and led to the goal. So I guess she's answered both questions, really. She's done her defensive duty, and now she's been involved in the attack as well.
I think the question of the day is how long can she keep that up for? It's St. Joseph Convent tries to come forward. Ball plays out here to Phillip, who's occupying the left-hand side, tries to get it forward. So ball is played for on the ground. It's a bit of bubble there on the cricket pitch. It eventually spills over to Phillip, who has 2 green shirts to counter. Tries to play it inside. That has been intercepted. As there's a player down on the right-hand side. It looks like Clinton. There's a player down. Actually, no, it's Williams needing a bit of treatment, as this game has certainly come to life in the second half thus far. Both teams are really pushing forward and trying to add to the single goal that they currently have. Surprising explosion in the second half.
Yeah, very, and I think a lot of credit to Diego Sek, because I was thinking to myself, when St. Joseph's Convent scored that goal, I was thinking, yep, they're probably going to run away with it in the second half, given all the chances that they had in the first. Maybe, you know, they've tightened up in those areas in the second, and then immediately neutralized by the girls from Diego Sek. So it's becoming a difficult one to predict, and that's what I said, Brent. That's what I love about these finals, is really, you never know what's going to happen when everything is on the line. Teams just do things that you don't see them do normally.
Yeah, certainly so. And it's a game that dreamers dream to play in, as anything is possible. Very much in line with the FA Cup for a reference point, where you've seen clubs at the top end of the footballing pyramid in England die at the sword to teams that sometimes are not even involved in the pyramid. But it does happen, and it's the beauty and the romance that comes with knockout football. And never know what can happen, as the old saying go, no football game is played alike. And certainly when you have all that is at stake, it does provide for some interest. Long ball by Williams, who is trying to search out a supportive Taylor. The ball eventually goes out for a throw for Diego Martin Central as they now come forward.
And of course, Brent, my time playing in the FA Cup for Hull City. Scalped some big names such as Liverpool and Manchester United. I think FIFA 16 really was my best run in the FA Cup.
I was about to say, I'm trying to jog my memory back to when Hull had a victory against Liverpool. And I think once you mentioned FIFA, then I realized that it certainly was a dream, not a reality. I started to gander into the Wikipedia to see when you played with Hull, but I knew better. Certainly this game has come to life here in the second half as both teams now trying to get ahead. And the ball goes out for a corner. Now, will Williams go and take this one as she did the first one? Certainly that answer is forthcoming as she is. Williams here with the kick. Again, is 4 green shirts to aim for inside of the box, 1 outside. Williams with the delivery. Ball bends in first post, this time met by Darwin, does well. Williams again with the ball. She's going to cut inside and try to have a shot. She tries to wiggle away from Darwin. Eventually gets a shot on goal. Doesn't have the power to trouble Dolan, who collects calmly.
Yep, I think she's really putting in a captain's performance here, Brent, is Mariah Williams.
And she's certainly been all over the park and has made an impact everywhere. And here comes Gittins. It's done well. Tried to get by, eventually has been impeded for a free kick for St. Joseph Convent. Coming up to 52 minutes gone in this Coca-Cola Girls Intercal Final North Zone. There's a substitution there for Diego Martin Central as Ariel Pollard is on the pitch. One of the players that is in the Trinidad and Tobago national team pool. Gittins at the end of this one. So well defended there by Richard, who's had a stellar game at the back for Diego Martin Central, where Williams cannot deliver defensively. Richards has. Gittins trying to win that. Eventually the ball comes across to Salandi, who has a bit of space. Can she get there? Williams in with a challenge. Back to Darwin, over to Gittins. Well blocked there, and the ball will roll out to Willett. No, stays in play. Confirmation of the substitution. Williams off, Pollard in. All played upfield. Diego Martin Central fighting for that one. Ball played upfield. Is a host of green shirts there. Not able to get to the end of it. As St. Joseph Convent scrambles the ball clear, but it's into the feet of the substitute. Pollard, Darwin with a challenge, and the ball goes out for a throw for Diego Martin Central. 1-1 the score here in the Diego Martin Regional Complex, as both teams are vying for the coveted North Zone Intercal Knockout Champions. Diego Martin Central coming in as heavy underdogs in this one. They would have had the opportunity of playing against this St. Joseph Convent team during the league format. Of course, St. Joseph Convent won that game and went on to be North Zone winners. Williams again there with the clearance. Long throw in there, Darwin trying to switch the point of attack. They have successfully done so. That has been stopped. Cleared up field, high line again from Diego Martin Central. Ball played out to Phillip, who has some acreage, but also has some green shirts in support. Does well. Turns back onto a favored right foot. Plays it back to the Salandi. Oh, I tell you what. Deflection there. Could have easily ended up into the back of the net. But it's going out for a corner. Slight deflection there by Peters. Once Salandi played this into the box, Leo Chin.
Yeah, I think there's just a lack of communication. Keeper should have really called for it. They would have prevented that corner kick, but nevertheless, at least they didn't concede the goal.
Corner comes in, that's a good corner. Again, that ball just goes outside. Not defending that will give you confidence. Back turn to the ball and eventually ricocheted out for another corner. That went again with a corner, this time into the middle of the box, a header. Lots of green shirts in contention. Few free players at the back post, ball comes over and Crawford collects. Places is out to Williams. He's looking upfield. Long pass upfield, intercepted. Played back downfield. Salandi tries to go for the header. Eventually she fouls a player, and it's a free kick for Diego Martin Central. Well, for a moment there, Leo Chin, after the goal by St. Joseph Convent, you felt that they could have started to make more inroads, but credit to Diego Martin Central, they've found themselves back into this one.
Yeah, most definitely. They've really made it a game here, and they are able to nick another goal, force the upset in the 90 minutes. That would be sensational for them, but you do think that the way things are going, they might keep up their defensive style and go for those penalties. But this girl on the ball here, Mariah Williams, she's been absolutely everywhere, as you said, and she's been doing that all day long. Hasn't put her foot wrong all evening.
Welcome to the Love Fight.
Diego Martin Central trying to put together a string of passes. Again, the high line by. Always going to provide a problem when you play that high. And here comes Phillip. Again, Richards. Exceptional. Getting back defensively. I think they're asking for trouble, Diego Martin Central. Playing a very high line, and with the pace of Darwin and Phillip and Gittins, could be asking for trouble. Here comes Darwin now. Ball played in there to Phillip. Salandi. Back to Gittins. She's going to try to crank up that left foot, and she does, and just wide of the target. Had Phillips for support on the left-hand side, wasn't able to do that. And so it's a goal kick for Diego Martin Central.
Yep. And they'll be disappointed, St. Joseph's Convent, because they were really in total control of it in the first half and early stages in the second. Now it seems as if they've just lost a bit of composure. Yes, they've had some attacks, but not a huge threat, really, anything to speak about here. Another player down for Diego Sec. Not sure exactly what the infringement was, but she's getting treatment there.
Well, they've found their foot in Diego Martin Central. As we see the boys, the Royalians of Queen's Royal College, as they limber up in their activation process, as they're preparing to come up against the boys from Fatima College and the all-important boys Coca-Cola Intercol Finals. It's the cooling break brought to you by SportsMax, as both teams get the opportunity to get the well-needed refreshments in to them as we head to the closing stages of today's final. Any surprises for you, Leo Chen, so far in the second half?
Yep, I think Dago Sek scoring. I think the way that the goal came was a bit of a surprise. But you do think that if they were to score, it might have been something like that. They didn't have any shots at all in the first half. And so, as I said, it's not a surprise that the goal came in that way. But as I've been saying all day long, I'm not generally surprised about what happens in finals. I've seen stranger things happen. I've seen, as I said, people do things that they don't usually when it comes to the pressure and when everything is on the line. So it really has shaped up nicely. Good viewing for the neutral, of course. Good viewing for both teams as well. I think St. Joseph Convent with an excellent performance in the first half, which their fans would have been pleased about despite them not scoring. And that girl there for Dago Sek, the captain, Mariah Williams, well, she's been really the heartbeat of this team this evening, and she really has to be given a lot of credit. If Dago Sek do go on to win this, Brent, surely she has to be the player of the match.
Yeah, certainly so. Her contributions thus far has been felt both on the defensive side of things and the offensive side of things. And she has impacted this game significantly. We're still at a stalemate at 1 apiece, as both teams are certainly going to use this next 20 minutes plus to try to walk away with the Coca-Cola North Zone Intercal Girls title. It's been a tight affair so far. Williams there, stopped this time, and eventually cleared away by Diego Martin Central. But here comes St. Joseph Convent with substitute Salandi. Good ball out to Darwin. That's been intercepted by Williams. Yeah, of course.
Who else?
There's another substitution. This time St. Joseph Convent with Cooper coming off and Harris getting some minutes. As Coach Junior Maxwell in search of that all-important winner. Williams again with the interception. Long ball played up front, intercepted by Diego Martin Central. Gittins, nice first touch, plays it out there to Phillip, who has some time and space, cuts inside on her right foot. Again, Richards there with a great defensive effort. Ball played off, deflected into Gittins. Tries to play it through. Ball eventually comes out to Salandi, who has a good first touch. Williams tries to stop on Salandi! And when saved there by Crawford. But not the best of balls out. Darwin, ball into the box, eventually cleared. Darwin again. Substitute Harris under this one. Crawford there. Good pair of hands.
Well, some action there for Kayla Crawford. She's been heavily involved even from the latter stages of the first half as well. Well, the substitute Salandi there showing why she was introduced into the squad. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, good skill. She beats one and then drives into that box. Very direct, but she just goes near post directly to Crawford. She made it pretty easy, and then this is the other one. Harris, ball just couldn't settle, and in those situations, the keeper tends to have the advantage because they could use their hands. I think Salandi, the better finish for her might have been to go across the keeper there. Might have seen some success.
Well, certainly both substitutes having some impact in this one as confirmation of the substitution for Diego Martin Central, as Baptiste Roberts is replaced by Williams. Salandi, a crossfield for St. Joseph Convent. In turn, she finds Gittin, a high line again, deployed. And this time the high line is broken, and it's Phillip. Plays it up to Harris, who's in a foot race with Williams, who's going to be there first. She's leaving it for Crawford, but Harris gets there. And just about off the line there, Harris coming in with the opportunity.
Yeah.
And almost get to the end of it.
Lovely ball through. I think there was a lack of communication again. I think Mariah Williams was screening for the keeper to come, but she was really tentative to come off her line. There was Crawford. They got away with it in the end.
Yeah, it's an opportunity that went to begging for St. Joseph Convent. Again, Diego Martin Central tries to play out of the back. That's not successful. Harris not able to turn. Richards intercepts for Diego Martin Central. Turn tries to get it up line. Ball turnover. Williams eventually clears it upfield and couldn't get to the end of it, as it's a throw-in for Diego Martin Central. As they themselves now try to mount their own attack. Has been thwarted by St. Joseph Convent. And they come upfield, and Philip, who's onside, have the acres of space, and bearing down on Crawford, could have the opportunity. Philip places it wide.
Well, she'll be disappointed, Brent. All day long she's had chances, just hasn't been able to convert. She did well. I think she had a lot more time than she thought. Let's see again. She was definitely onside, and look at that, no green shirts in the screen at all, which means she had a lot of time and space. She cut in, just didn't get the bend, didn't she? Yep.
Yeah, just needed certainly a little bit more quality. Tried to place it into the far post. Crawford seemingly had the angle on that one, but just couldn't get the ball into the back of the net. St. Joseph Convent starting to turn the screws again and looking for that all-important second goal that just maybe enough to clinch this Coca-Cola Girls Intercal Finals, as we see a cross-section of the St. Joseph Convent faithful, who certainly have had their voices been heard. We'll catch all the SSFL action on the SportsMax app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play and stay connected to every thrilling moment of the league. And of course, we're in the Intercal side of things, as both teams are trying to get to the end of it. That's a good ball here, Philip again. Richards bearing down. That's excellent defending there by Richards. Diego Martin Central tried to come away with it. That's a throw-in for St. Joseph Convent. It's well played there by Convent, trying to get forward. It's a good play there. It's a heavy touch. Williams are going to get there first, and ball goes upfield, ricochets. Convent trying to get a hold of it. It's well defended. Playing out the back, Convent, trying to be a bit more pragmatic in their approach. Again, a high line from Diego Martin Central, springs Cooper into life. She has Richards in pursuit. Tries to get around Richards again. Diego Martin Central defender sticks to her task and wins a free kick for her troubles.
Yep, they've really defended well. Philip again looks very frustrated there, no way around her opponent. That's excellent defense, and I think coach will be very pleased, Coach Boystad is, of course, with the defensive display that his team has put in. Yes, they've leaked a goal, but other than that, they've been pretty good. And I think you could even see the effort, Brent, even in the midfield, you know, closing down play as well. Not just defending in the back line, but all around the pitch. I think they've worked really hard today, Diego Sec.
Well, I do have my concerns with the high line that they have defensively. Of course, that gives, as we have confirmation that sub, Morris off, Khan is on. It does lend to balls being played in behind, and we've seen that on a couple of occasions. Cooper and Phillip have been recipients of those balls played over the top, but they haven't been able to finish, and the composure needed to put the ball in the back of net wasn't there. But here comes Williams, and she's creeping into a dangerous position. Ball played into the box. Eventually cleared out there by Govaya. You just feel, Liuchin, if that young lady there in the screen gets the ball with time and space in front of the goal, and she may have a say on this game and the final score.
Yep. Yeah, she's really been brilliant today. And as you said, everywhere, I'm not even sure what position she's really playing. Neither do the cameramen. They're searching to see where she goes there, Christian. But, of course, I mean, we've seen her in the left back. We've seen her in the deep midfield position. We've seen her on the right. We've seen her taking corners. She's been brilliant. And, of course,
catch all the SSFL action in the SportsMax app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play and stay connected to every thrilling moment of the league. All cleared out by St. Joseph.
24 free.
Ball intercepted by Gittins. Salandi gets the better of Williams for the first time this afternoon. A high line again, ball played in, and Harris inexplicably just went to the turf. Certainly there an opportunity to get in behind. Again, Diego Martin Central plays the ball long downfield and goes into the hands. It's possibly in an offside position. No, Salandi's not a judge to be that, but Williams starts a trek into the St. Joseph Convent half, tries to play a ball in behind the line, the defensive line of St. Joseph Convent. Didn't come off as planned, but the clearance by St. Joseph Convent goes out for a throw, and it's a throw for Diego Martin Central. Tense looks there on the sideline from the St. Joseph Convent faithful as the time is slowly ticking down. 10 minutes or 9 minutes plus added on time left in this fixture. Of course, these games are played in 45-minute halves and not the regular 45-minute halves, 40-minute halves, sorry, that's played in. So as the time gets down to expiration, both teams are starting to put numbers forward. The ball played up front. Taylor getting back with the defensive clearance is not kept in, and it's a throw-in for St. Joseph Convent. Now it's time for the SportsMax app moment. Cross by Phillip into the net by Gittins. Goal scored there by St. Joseph Convent to give them a 1-0 lead. Gittins with the SportsMax app moment. Yeah, ball played over the top again, Phillip, but this time it's a judge to be in an offside position, and it's a kick for Diego Martin Central. Referee Harewood is responsible and in charge of this afternoon's proceedings. Hasn't put a foot wrong so far. The official in charge of this North Zone final.
I think she's done a pretty good game. Hasn't had many major issues to deal with, but I think she's done really well to take control of this one.
Long ball played short there. Clearance eventually down there with a slice clearance. Goes back in favor of St. Joseph Convent. Now tries to get upfield as the time continues to tick. Bit of skill there interrupted, and good defensive play finally sent forward. Long punt downfield. Harris is interested in it, but it doesn't come her way. Gittins try another long ball there. Harris in pursuit. Richards is, and Salandi is getting close to it. Almost there. Darwin with the opportunity. A long kick there over the head of the goalkeeper, but Crawford safely escorts that one out for a goal kick. And the maroon Miranda and Crawford is not does not pay for her exploits outside of goal, and the ball goes for a goal kick. Certainly not afraid to leave a line.
Well, she's had a really eventful game, has Crawford, and to be fair, she's done pretty well.
And here we are, Tasha St. Louis, former national team captain. If there's one player that has the knowledge of how to, it's that young lady in the picture. I've led this country for many, many years.
And of course, as the time ticks down, Brent, is generally only one thing to speak about, and that is, of course, the player of the match. And how ironic is it that that girl is in screen? As I mentioned, that I think she would definitely be my pick, Mariah Williams, so far. Not sure what you think.
Yeah, I think so. If obviously Dougal Martin Central is to go on to get a result, she would have to think that she's there and thereabouts. And she's again taking the goal kick and bringing the ball upfield for Dougal Martin Central. Gittins tries to go upfield with it. Not able to get the ball up. Back to Williams. Battles away and clearing that ball upfield. Long touch there. Ball goes out for a St. Joseph Convent throw-in. As we edge closer here to the 80 minutes regulation time. St. Joseph Convent still searching for that winner. And Dougal Martin Central have been extremely resolute, especially that young lady, the captain for Dougal Martin Central, Williams, who's not put a foot wrong here this afternoon at the Dougal Martin Regional Complex. As St. Joseph Convent again with a long ball. This time Salandi is interested. Crawford should get there first, but would she make the right decision? Place it to Harris. Eventually they clear their lines. Taylor trying to get the ball up the park. Plays it upfield. Good ball in there to Pollard, who can't get the better of her opponent, and she eventually gets by LeBon. Pollard puts it forward, not able to do so. Long ball across field, just a gilt-edged touch. Again, Harris onside, ahead of Richards. Richards gets back in a defensive position. Harris looks for support. She has a Salandi out wide, but Richards with a good defensive display. St. Joseph Convent on the attack. Salandi out wide and two other shoots wide. Salandi breaks past, and she's in an offside position. Goalkeeper Crawford, nevertheless, does a terrific job. But referee Harewood is going to pull this back as the flag has been raised on the far side. Still one apiece.
Tell you what, Brent, think Kayla Crawford, though she might not be my pick for player of the match, I think she's actually been one of the reasons that Dago Sek have still been in this one. She's come off her line, though sometimes she may look a bit unconvincing. She's gotten the job done. Made some decent saves as well. Some decent, amazing runs as well out of her own penalty box.
Well, she certainly made this encounter very interesting, and has a good entertainment value attached to her name. A young custodian from Dougal Martin Central. And of course, that young lady there has done the magician trick and managed to teleport herself all over the park. She has been everywhere. Long kick downfield. No green shirt able to control it. It goes out for a throw-in for St. Joseph Convent as we tick closer to the end of regulation time. And referee Harewood has the opportunity to tag on what she deems necessary. Good bit of skill there by Darwin. Gets it forward. Salandi in pursuit. Richards also. Salandi wins it. Cuts inside. Richards again with the foul. Has to be careful. She's already on a card. And it's a free kick in the position very similar to where Darwin found Gittins for the goal.
Yep. I think also, Brent, probably from a St. Joseph's Convent point of view, I think Darwin had a pretty good first half. She's gone a bit quiet in the second.
And I think the combination of Darwin and Gittins,
yep,
And certainly from a perspective, I believe a yellow card for St. Louis. Always been a feisty player on the pitch. Not surprised that that passion has continued off the pitch. As there's a free kick that Salandi will take. Certainly getting on to the dying stages of this game. There's 5 white shirts in the area, 2 on top of the box. Salandi with the kick. You certainly feel that the game may hinge on this current moment. There's a crowd of Let's Go Convent could be heard in the backdrops. It paints for an exciting closure, possible closure to this game. Salandi. Can she find a white shirt in the area? It's a low cross into the box, into Darwin, who tries to flick it into the box, and that's been intercepted. Ball won back by St. Joseph Convent. Now Diego Martin Central with numbers trying to get back. Eventually clears a line, and a throw-in goes to St. Joseph Convent. Looks like of course 4 minutes have been added on to the 80 minutes that has expired. Are we going to see another set of kicks from the penalty spot, similar to the East Zone finals yesterday, where San Juan North, the underdogs, came out eventual winners?
It's certainly looking so, Brent.
Long punt downfield. Philip is going to give pursuit. Richard seems to be getting there first, and she tries to play it downfield. Tired swing of the legs, and eventually it's a throw-in for St. Joseph Convent. Now starting to chip into the 4 minutes of added in time. Ball played across the Gittins. Takes a long touch and puts the ball back into play, only as far as Williams, who has some real estate ahead of her, tries to poke it forward. Ball played over the top. Harris is interested. Crawford is slow off her line. Can Harris get there? Eventually she does. And Williams in support clears her line. One back though by Pollard, the substitute. In fact, that's Laborde for Diego Martin Central, who eventually clears it upfield for a St. Joseph Convent throw-in. Darwin in a deep position, trying to get herself upfield. Throw in there. Salandi in pursuit. And a touch there. That puts the ball over the line for a throw-in for St. Joseph Convent. Time slowly ticking away for both teams as we stare kicks from the penalty spot, and the possibility of this finals being decided in that manner. Long throw into the box. Doesn't quite make it into the penalty area. Ball cleared forward. Another throw in again for St. Joseph Convent. Darwin this time with the throw. Finds Salandi on the line. Williams there tackling and harrying. Finally gets to the end of it. Darwin with the challenge. Williams still with the ball. Darwin with another challenge as well, as both competitors fall to the floor. And it's a throw-in for Williams and her Diego Martin Central team. Give them a lot of credit. Came into this fixture as underdogs, but they've fought and they've battled and have made it very tough for St. Joseph Convent. And eventually this game has certainly been a lot more challenging for St. Joseph Convent, as someone with the best view in the house and with the best shirt on in the house, a Juventus shirt. No, I'm not taking any second gestures for that. That looks like a handball by Diego Martin Central. Maybe one last kick from St. Joseph Convent. It's now or never. Battle there for the ball as both teams trying. Taylor eventually gets it, tries to get out of her area, but eventually runs out of real estate, and it's a throw in for St. Joseph Convent. You have to think, Leo Chin, this could be the last play of the game. Long throw in there. Taylor tries to intercept it.
Yep. And
there we have it. Referee here with the final whistle. So we go to kicks from the penalty spot.
Brent, I think we saw it coming as the time was ticking away. From a St. Joseph's Convent point of view, though, Brent, I think you wonder if Alexia Dolan, the goalkeeper for St. Joseph's Convent, she really hasn't had much action in this game at all. Not sure how mentally involved she is in this match, and I don't know if that'll affect her in the penalty shootouts. We've seen Kayla Crawford, she's come off her line, she's seen some action, she's been on her toes, and you might think that going into the penalty shootout, she may have a bit more pep in her step.
We see some very nervous faces in the St. Joseph Convent contingency. This is the side of the game that most don't like to see. And St. Joseph Convent and Diego Martin Central will go to the lottery. That is kicks from the spot. As obviously both teams would have felt that they had the opportunity to walk away with it. But let's first take a look at the highlights for this one. Referee Harewood, and in the second half off the start, was a rough one for Darwin as Richards upended her, which saw Richards go into the box, and the resulting kick saw Gittins put the ball into the back of the net, claimed it, and did the bowling celebration, all 12 pins down, 1-0 to St. Joseph Convent. Good ball in the box by Darwin. Gittins just guided into the back of the net, and at that point you thought it was going to be the St. Joseph Convent show. But Diego Martin Central had other plans, and Gittins, yes, you heard it right, scoring on the other end as well, but this time in the wrong net, which made it one apiece. And Diego Martin Central get themselves back into it. A delightful ball by Williams. Gittins in her approach to help defensively put the ball into her own net. But St. Joseph Convent tried to apply the pressure. Salandi with the long ball in. Slice of a clearance there. And eventually went out for a goal kick. Could have easily ended up in the back of the net. And again, Phillip with another opportunity. Bearing down on goal. Should have taken the ball in a bit further. Decided to pull up and have a strike on goal. Didn't hit the target. And places the ball wide. And the scoreline there, indicative of the highlights that we just saw. But here is the fact file. 17 shots on goal, 6 of those on target for St. Joseph Convent. 1 shot on goal for Diego Martin Central, and that's the one that scored. That ended up in the back of the net. 9 fouls in total. 5 for St. Joseph Convent, 4 for Diego Martin Central. No red cards, 4 corners apiece. 5 outside for St. Joseph Convent, none for Diego Martin Central. 14 runs in the box for St. Joseph Convent and 5 for Diego Martin Central. The tail of the tape shows a lot of course, a commanding position from St. Joseph Convent, but the scoreline in top talks to evenness, and the scoreline says 1 apiece for Diego Martin Central and St. Joseph Convent, which has brought us to kicks from the penalty spot to decide this year's Coca-Cola Girls North Zone Intercol champions. Of course, as both teams get closer to the inevitable, Leo Chin, as a man that understands what kicks from the penalty spot means for both teams. Any words of advice for both sets of players?
Yeah, I think it's just about staying calm under the pressure and not trying to do anything too spectacular. So many times you see players wanting to put it up in the top corner. And all fairness to them, if you can't do it, go straight ahead. But definitely try not to do a TV penalty, as they say, although the game is being broadcast. Keep it simple and do what you have to do. At the end of the day, it's a team game. Yes, your highlights are important as well for yourself. But this is where your team needs you the most in order to score that all-important penalty.
Well, just for the sake of context, and the penalty takers that have been decided by first for Diego Martin Central, number 11, of course, the captain, Mariah Williams, as well as Richards, number 17, Kyla Taylor, number 19, which is Kalisha Peters, and of course the goalkeeper, Kyla Crawford, has also been selected as a penalty taker for St. Joseph Convent. The penalty takers that has been selected, Michaela Yearwood is one of them. Of course, Rory Gittins is also a penalty taker selected. Substitute Salandi has also been selected. Darwent, another player that has been selected. And rounding off the penalty kickers for St. Joseph Convent is Harris. So those are the kickers in no particular order. As you know, they can't switch the order of the kickers as it goes along. So we will obviously look into it. And of course, the goalkeepers that have been asked to stop these penalty kicks is Alexia Dolan for St. Joseph Convent and the very adventurous Kyla Crawford for Diego Martin Central. So will it be the heroics of the goalkeeper, or will it be the finesse and accuracy of the taker as the drama builds here in the Diego Martin Regional? And before you know it, Captain Williams is stepping up to take the first penalty kick for Diego Martin Central.
Yeah, well, she's definitely wanting to set the tone for her team. She's had a brilliant performance throughout the 80 minutes. And you do expect her to convert here. Looks pretty confident in her approach. Let's see if she can send her team 1-0 up in this penalty shootout.
Well, it's Dolan against Williams. For the first kick in this penalty shootout. Williams with the first kick. And it's a goal. Into the back of the net.
Yeah, that's the penalty you expected from Mariah Williams after that performance. I didn't expect anything less. She had a confident approach and just smashed that home straight past Dolan. And as I said, she set the tone there for Diego Martin Sec. And now it's time for St. Joseph Convent to respond.
Well, I think it's nothing less than we would have expected from the captain, Williams, who's had an outstanding game thus far. But now it's Yearwood of St. Joseph Convent, and can Crawford place this ball into the back of the net? Yearwood, beautiful, perfection. Places it to the bottom right of Crawford and gives her no chance whatsoever.
Yeah, it doesn't really get much better than that, Brent, placement-wise. Didn't really need much power. Just rolled that one in. Actually, it did have a bit of zing on it, but it was well placed, and Crawford could only just pick that one out of the back of the net. Two good penalties to start off this shootout.
Now, Richards for Diego Martin Central, another player who's had a terrific game with her opportunity. Just places it wide. Well, she had the right idea, Richards. Just didn't get the connection needed. It's unfortunate as she wasn't able to find the bottom corner. Tries to place the ball to the right of Dolan. certainly the right idea, but the execution, Leo Chin, just wasn't what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and she looks disappointed with herself there. Now Gittins has an opportunity to take the advantage in this penalty shootout for St. Joseph Convent. Did score both goals in this game so far. Let's see if she can get a third in the all-important time.
Yeah, well, she would certainly want to atone for that own goal. Unfortunate own goal for her. Gittins, sorry. That is a beautiful penalty by the number 10, Rory Gittins, for St. Joseph Convent. And look at that for a smile. Redemption brought to you via the penalty spot. What a penalty for Gittins.
Yep. Yeah, and I said it doesn't get much better than the one before. Well, guess what? It just did. That's brilliant.
I tell you what, we've seen some penalty kicks so far this year in both the boys and the girls. I will put a wager towards my producers to find a better penalty kick than that one from Rory Gittins. Outstanding kick from the young lady. Now the pressure is on Taylor. Oh, I tell you what. She just gets that one right under the reach of Dolan.
Yeah, she's done well, placed it, just had just enough on it to beat Dolan in the post there, and well.
And a bit of swagger at the end of it. Why not? Now, Salandi, the substitute, who's had one or two looks on goal since coming on the park. As Crawford trying to get into the mind of Salandi. Salandi! Gets it in past Crawford, as cool as you like.
Another good penalty. Crawford just missed out on it. I think she got pretty close to the ball, maybe just a bit high for her. Not sure if she actually jumped. Let's see. Yeah, she did, but couldn't get a hand on it at all. And St. Joseph Convent, as it stands, in the driving seat here. Diego Martin-Sec can't afford to miss another penalty here.
Certainly so. It's the substitute, Kalisha Peters, for Diego Martin Central. Up against Dolan. That's power and punctuation. As the substitute places that ball into the net. So now Diego Martin Central making sure that they keep themselves within striking distance.
Yeah, she just smashed that one down the middle, didn't she? Keeper moved. Safe penalty. I mean, once it scores, it's a good one, isn't it? And now it's Caitlin Darwin, who did have a really good game herself, and you do expect her to convert, don't you, Brent?
Yeah, well, you would hope so. That's once the nerves are right and the mind is in the right place. It's really about executing and making sure you strike the ball well. And Darwin has shown that throughout the game. Can't she show it now in the penalty kick as she steps up? Oh, boy. Places it past Crawford, who was late to move across to the left. A little bit of swagger at the end there from the young lady. And she places that into the back of the net. That gives the lead. And now, let's take another look at it.
She guessed the right way, did Crawford, but again, pace beater.
Yeah, correct. The power beater. But now, Crawford to atone for the ones that went past her as she sets up. It's not the best of kicks, and that's it. As Crawford with the kick has fallen short, and your winners via the kicks from the penalty spot is St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain. Coca-Cola North Zone Intercal champions. St. Joseph Convent, as Crawford penalty kicks went straight to goalkeeper Dolan, who repels it and gets up and makes the celebration. Gittins the player of the match. St. Joseph Convent the winner, and a North Zone Intercal title decided by kicks from the penalty spot has brought tears to the eyes of the young ladies from Diego Martin Central. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, as their effort has been tremendous throughout this 80 minutes plus. And there's always has to be one winner. Unfortunately for them, it is St. Joseph Convent, as both teams are celebrating. Both teams, one team, of course, have feel the hurt from the penalty spot, and one team is celebrating. It's good to see that the sportsmanship is being shown on both sides as players congratulate both the winners and the losers. Great to see that. That is what you want to see and what school sports is all about, the camaraderie. Nevertheless, congratulations to St. Joseph Convent, as they would have done just enough to get themselves over the line via kicks from the penalty spot. And Diego Martin Central, despite their efforts, has done everything in their power to stop St. Joseph Convent, but haven't been able to do so. So good victory for St. Joseph Convent, and you have to give some sort of credit to Diego Martin Central. Came in as heavy underdogs in this fixture, of course losing the league game against St. Joseph Convent, but they gave it all and left it all on the pitch, and unfortunately they've gone away with nothing but their pride, and they should keep their heads up because they certainly made this fixture a very interesting one, and they fought and gave it their all. Their school should be very, very proud of them and their community for what they have been able to do. We now go to Hansi Wiens, that has the player of the match.
Here with the player of the match, Gittins. Listen, how does it feel to get a player of the match today?
It feels wonderful.
How does it feel to get the North Zone title though?
Even better.
2 years in a row, are you all going for a third year?
Definitely.
Well, the next step is to face off against Sawa North Secondary School in the national semi-final. How do you prepare for that one?
I feel like we need to train as hard as we can because I know we can do it. I have faith in my team, and if we all work to the best of our abilities, we could do it.
Your personal areas for improvement coming out of this one?
I think some of my touches should have been faster, but I feel like I worked my best and I don't have any regrets.
No regrets. Congratulations to your player of the match, and congratulations. Go and celebrate with your team and get your trophy. Liu Chin has the coaches.
Coach, unfortunate today. Tough one to take penalties. It's not the best way to go out in a final, but how pleased are you with the girls' performance today?
Yeah, I'm proud of the girls today. I'm really, really proud of them. They come a long way, and they work very hard to reach here today. They work very hard.
Yeah, I must ask you, your captain, Mariah Williams, she put in a shift today. Talk to us about her.
Mariah Williams come out from, since she about 7 years, if you remember, back in the primary school days, she was the smallest girl who won the national title 3 times on a straight. And she has worked very hard. Yeah. She are a workhorse, and we're really proud of her.
Yeah. And finally, coach, what's next? What's next for the team?
Well, let's go. We're back in camp and rebuild and come again next year again, you know. So that is the best we can do.
Yeah, coach. Well, tough luck today and all the best.
Same to you. Right?
Take care. Yeah. And of course, the winning side, St. Joseph Convent. Coach, drama down to the end. You all took the lead early in the second. Yeah, took the lead early in the second half, of course, and then that was quickly neutralized. How did you all respond to that?
I guess, well, at the end of the day, it was up to the girls to be able to try and change our whole narrative when we actually went on top, and then we come and we concede by our own selves. You know, but I commend the girls and them staying in the game and staying positive and trying to create more opportunities and pushing on.
What was your message to the girls going into the penalty shootout?
Well, basically, I am the one player that have missed a penalty my whole career. You know, and the positivity in kicking a penalty, you know, it's to keep the ball away from the keeper, put it in the corner, choose your corner, and kick it firm.
Yep, and how confident are you all going into the national intercall now?
We are very confident, you know, this is something we are hungered for, you know, it's something we want to bring back to the school. And I think the moment, right now, it's the right moment for us. So I think the girls is on a very high and they're very confident.
And how do you all plan to prepare for that?
Just the way we've been preparing all season, you know, working hard and doing the stuff that the opponent that we are coming up against, and working on our gameplay as well.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, coach, and all the best.
Thank you.
Sweet dreams and nightmares are made of these. This is the North Zone Intercol Final. St. Joseph Convent getting the better of Diego Martin Central Secondary School. When we come back, we have the boys' final. Fatima College, QRC, a battle for the ages. We urge you to download the SportsMax app right now and keep up to date with all of the action. When we come back around, the Coca-Cola Boys Intercol North Zone Final.
That broadcast was brought to you by Carib Malta, 0.0% alcohol. It's the way we play. And First Citizen Foundation, building strong communities through sport.
Totally Male has been around since 1994. Our primary focus is the aesthetic upgrading of all males. Our highly skilled team of women are trained, professional, and committed to first-class customer service. Centrally located at 6 Windsor Avenue, New Kingston, Jamaica. Totally Male is your man cave